Okay, welcome back to another edition of BizLink, and we get the opportunity to talk to some more folks in our community. And one thing that we always have that we need is somebody to help us out with our family members when they're in trouble or they need some help of some type. And that includes cats, dogs, and all our pets that we love and dearly want to make sure that they're safe and taken care of well. And one of those places here in our community, here in the north side of Raleigh, is a safe haven for cats. And today I have Jamie Hazard with the organization, and he's going to share some about their organization, how they've been helping out, how they can help out, and what you can do to help out as well. So, Jamie, hey, welcome to the BizLink.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you coming on. It's a beautiful day, and I'm glad you had the opportunity and the time to get here to spend some time and tell us about this. We happen to hook up because we do a food drive, a food pantry on the north side of Raleigh through Celebration Church. And sometimes we get excess amounts of food, not only for people, but for pets. And Jamie and Safe Haven for Cat has the ability to take those products and help people out in our community. And for those who can't afford food sometimes, it is tough out there, not only for our kids or ourselves, but our pets. And we have to think about that. So, Jamie, tell me a little bit about Safe Haven. Where did it start? How did it start? And how long has this been going on?
So we have been around for 30 years. This is our 30th year. We started back in 1990 in our founder's 800 square foot heated and air conditioned garage. Since then, we've expanded to, we now have over about 11 square feet of office space. So we've grown a lot in those 30 years, but we also run a spay and neuter clinic, like you mentioned, our pet food pantry, and we have our adoption center where people can come and take home their new furry friends. So we've been around for 30 years. In that time, we've adopted out more than 15 total cats. We've also performed more than 50,000 spay and neuter surgeries, and that pet food pantry donates between 8 and 11 tons of food a year to low-income families.
Wow, that's amazing. You know, I was just thinking we had like 4 pallets for you the other day, but how many tons did you just say?
We're on track to do 8 this year.
8 tons. That's just amazing. That's a lot of food for those little guys. Is there any type of cat that you do or do not welcome, or you just any cat?
So in our facility, in what capacity? For spay and neuter, for adoption, for...
Yeah, for all the different types of services that you offer and you do.
So for spay and neuter, we will spay both companion animals and community cats. We participate in TNVR, that's trap, spay, neuter, vaccinate, and release or return. We have a TNVR coordinator who helps work with all that stuff, and our spay and neuter clinic does a great job with those animals. For our adoption center, certain cats, they do just want to be outside. They don't want to be indoor cats. So when we take in cats from a variety of areas, we will take in owner surrenders, although we do have a wait list and a form for that. We'll also take in from local county kill shelters to help, because we're a no-kill facility. So we'll take in when they reach capacity. We'll go to like the Wake County Animal Center or the Johnson County Animal Center and take in some of their cats as well that we think can go out and be adopted.
Okay, when you say no-kill, I know what it is. You do too, but let's explain it to everybody else. What's that mean?
Yeah, so certain shelters across the country are what's considered kill shelters. They will euthanize animals for things such as space, or they've just reached their capacity. As a no-kill shelter, we don't do that. We do everything we can to help to keep the cats happy, healthy, and alive, and adopt them out. We adopt out over 1,000 animals a year.
Okay, all right, and that's really neat to understand and know that your organization does that. Because, a lot of times we think about that, we have a pet or somebody has a pet and don't know what to do with it, and they take it to some location and, they get to that point where they have to think about doing those things. And it's nice to know that you guys don't, and you're willing to look for every avenue available to get that cat back out there and find a family and make a difference in the community for somebody out there. That's really, really nice. Now, when you are treating the cats, what types of treatment do you do? What are all the treatments that you do?
We'll do whatever they need. Pretty much anything. We have a really amazing medical director here who can do all types of different surgeries for animals. I really want to highlight our cat care team and medical team. Last year, there was a huge breakout of a disease called panleukopenia. It has a 90% death rate in the wild, especially with young kittens. It was just everywhere last year, pretty much in every single shelter. We had a 90% success rate in curing it and helping those kittens survive. So we can do a huge variety of different medical procedures and different types of care here. We also partner with a few different vets in the area. We can can't do something, we'll send that out to them to get their diagnostics done and then treat them however they need here. So whether it's medication or going to like a foster home for, let's say they had a leg needed to be amputated for whatever reason, we would, might send that animal out to foster just for that recovery period. So whatever the cat needs to be done to be happy and healthy, we're here to do it.
Okay, that's good to know. And not only do you do the procedures there, but it sounds like you reach out to other community vets and other centers, and you guys work together trying to come up with a solution for whatever that situation is. That's really cool. I really
definitely
appreciate you doing that.
Yeah, we're all in this together.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Now, how big is the team out there to your location where you work?
We've got about 20 to 25 staff members. That includes full and part-time people. And we also have a huge volunteer program. We fill volunteer shifts a week. We're always looking for new volunteers. I'd like to see that number closer to maybe even 200.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize you were that big. That is huge. That is really cool. And so you're always looking for volunteers. So if anybody's listening, want to be able to make a difference. So if you want to volunteer, would they get a hold of you or just the center itself, or how does that work?
Yeah, they can email me, jamieh@safehavencats.org. The first step would be to go to our website and fill out our volunteer application. It's found under the volunteer tab on our website, which again is Safe Haven for Cats. Once they fill that out and it's approved, they'll attend a volunteer orientation. We hold them once a month right now. And then once they attend that orientation, they're all set to go.
What's the minimal amount of time a person could volunteer to come? I don't want to get there and say, hey, I can only be there for an hour, but you need a window. What is it?
Yeah, most of our shifts are 2 to 3 hours, but we appreciate any and all time someone can give us. We have a recommendation that people should aim for 4 hours a month, but it's really just a recommendation. If someone can only come in, for 2 hours a month, great, we'll still take it. We still appreciate them. They're still help saving those lives. And just one other note about volunteering, we do accept youth volunteers as well. In our shelter, you do have to be at least 13 and you can come with a parent. And then once you turn 16, you can start coming on your own.
Oh, that's kind of cool. So we could actually reach out to the school systems that are looking to do volunteer programs. I know at Celebration, that's one thing they do with the food pantry, is they have some of the high school kids, like a band or a sporting event team comes over. I know that's something you guys probably do already.
Yeah, we do. We have a lot of students who come in and they need volunteer hours to graduate for school, or we have school clubs reach out. If they want to help us, they can do projects for us. So last year there was, I want to say, a kindergarten class that ran a donation drive for us. And
no way.
We did a little virtual tour of the shelter for them, showed them some cats, and they asked me some really great questions. And then they ran a donation drive for us. It was really great.
Wow, that is really cool. Something like that happened. And there's lots of schools around here, so there's lots of people that could get involved if they want to then. That's kind of cool. What is the most interesting question that a person has asked you in this business? You've been in it for a while.
Ooh, most interesting question. I thought this was interesting just because I didn't know it at the time, but one of the students asked me if, like dogs, if cats are colorblind. When it turns out they're not. They can only see 2 colors, though. I want to say it's green and yellow they can see. I'm not positive, though. But cats are not colorblind, unlike dogs. That was a pretty good question from the kids.
That is a good question because I didn't know that. One of my daughters has 2 cats and they're staying here with me. And I guess I never realized while I'm looking at the cat can only see me in 2 colors, which is better than my dog that can only see 1 color.
Right.
So that is really cool. Now, what about, I know it's off topic for what you do, but we talk about cats in dark. Can they see really well in the dark or what's?
Yeah, they can. Cats primarily, they love living in the dark. They have great nighttime eyesight. They really thrive in that environment. A lot of cats might be more nocturnal, which is why we get cat naps during the day. But, they're out in the natural environment. They would be, hunting at night and doing stuff like that. So they have great nighttime vision.
I know the 2 that are here with me definitely love the night.
Yeah.
They keep checking on me all the time. That's why I was asking that question. It's very interesting that cats here's something that cats like to scratch things, I notice. Mm-hmm. And I've got cat scratching posts all over the place, but they still like to scratch on a couch sometimes. And I have heard, and maybe you've got some feedback on it, I've heard about this declawing thing that they used to do years ago. And we're trying to get away from that, right? Is that my understanding?
Yes, we are. So when a cat gets declawed, it's essentially the same as taking your finger and cutting the tip off at the first knuckle.
Oh, okay.
So they basically lose almost all use of their paws. The claws are really a necessity for them in order to be happy and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have a cat that scratches, regular nail trims are always great. That's usually why they are scratching and trying to keep their nails in check, and then scratching posts and stuff like that as well.
Now, do you guys do that service as far as clipping nails? I mean, as far as, keeping them in good shape? Or is that somewhere
If
else?
if a cat's here in the shelter and they need a nail trim while they're here, we'll do it. But for the cats that we adopt out, no, that's then on their new owners.
Okay, okay. Where do people take a cat to get their nails taken care of? You would recommend?
A lot of people can just do it at home.
Oh,
There's a bunch of great YouTube videos to give you tips and tricks.
well, that's a good idea.
You can also always go to your vet if it gets bad enough. Your vet might be able to help you out too.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we've tried to trim our cat's toenails, and they're not too receptive, shall we say, to the
Right.
endeavor. But we keep trying. So yeah, we'll check with our vet and see what they say also, and see how they can help us out. But I just noticed once in a while they do scratch. I didn't know if it was a reason for doing that. It's just something they do, and it's
Yeah,
very interesting.
it is. Yeah. From what I know about it, the main reason that they do it is just to keep their nails from getting too long.
Okay. Okay, so this is a normal thing. Don't get mad at the cat.
Exactly.
How do you work with the cat? Have you heard any good tricks or tips to help folks out when they do something you think is naughty? You know, hey, you're scratching my couch. What can we do to help them and help yourself?
Yeah, so just like with a dog, just some more positive reinforcement in another direction. So doing something like, hey, maybe getting them to play with a different toy first. And then once you
Ah,
start playing with that other toy or whenever you see them using the cat scratcher, giving them like a little treat or a catnip toy or something that they really enjoy using. It can even be, give them, if this is a huge problem and you're training them throughout the day while you're home, taking some of their dry food and giving them their dry food as a treat.
okay. Yeah, it's just sporadic that I see it once in a while. The other two cats, only one does it. The other one goes right over to the scratchy post every time. But this
Yeah.
one will look right at you like it's like,
Yep.
ha ha. I
That's
didn't know if there was
cats.
something going on.
No, that's not you. That's cats.
And it's all great because I love them because they're just adorable. One
Yeah,
just loves to be snuggled just immensely. And it's just so loving to have that love come back at you like that for sure. Now, these are indoor
definitely.
cats. We keep them inside. We used to live in Michigan. I used to have a small farm area and I had what I call barn cats, and that's where they stayed most of the time. And you talked about having the ability to help treat cats that are outdoors a lot and spay neuter them, make sure that they're safe and they're not going to have a lot more kittens in the
Yeah.
process, which I think is a really cool idea. I wish I'd have met you because we did have that happen once. I didn't catch it quick enough, and yeah, there's cats running around and they're cats. So it's
Yeah.
cool that you guys do that, not only for your cat that stays in the house, but also outside as well. Now, you said something also about releasing them. I thought I heard you
Yeah.
say something about.
So these, outside, we like to call them community cats.
Okay.
Some people might call them feral cats, cats that you just sort of see out in the wild. They're very fractious around humans. They're not going to let you pet them. They might be the ones that you're feeding on your back porch, who, when you go out there, they run away, but you check it in the morning and see that they did come and eat the food and all that. So those are more community cats. And it is super important that they also get spayed and neutered.
True.
Because like you were saying, to help prevent the increase in kittens and all that sort of stuff. So TNVR is what we call it. It's the most humane form of population control. You can actually rent a trap from us, especially
Oh, really?
if you're using our clinic to get your cat spayed or neutered, and you
Okay.
need to get a trap in order to get the cat here. We will rent it out to you. There's a small $30 cash deposit, and then you get your deposit back once you return the trap.
Oh,
So
that's a deal.
once you get an appointment set up, about a week, maybe 4 or 5 days before your appointment, you can come pick up the trap and then return it sometime in that next week.
Excellent. That's another good question I'm going to lead you into here is, okay, I need to get my cats spayed and neutered.
Mhm.
Do I call you or set it up on the computer or how does that work? And then what are the fees and things that involve?
Yeah, so I'm not positive on our current fees right now, but they are posted on our clinic's website, which is Safe Care. So you
Okay.
can go there. We have different fees for community cats as opposed to companion animals. And for all the dog lovers out there, we will spay dogs up to 40 pounds as well. We do dogs 1 day a week on Wednesdays. So you can just go to check out Safe Care. You'll have all the information on there, and you should be able to set up an appointment online. If you have any trouble, you can call our clinic manager as well, and their number will be on there.
Okay, excellent. That's great advice because my daughter's had the youngest one just taken care of the other day. And I think she ended up at your clinic. I'm not positive. I'll have to ask her.
Okay.
But she said it was very thorough. She made the appointment. She stood in line, zipped in, came back at the appropriate time, picked up the cat, and everything went perfect. I mean, not only with you folks, but also here at the house. I mean, afterwards, the care, you guys told us what to do, what not to do, and
Mhm.
we followed those instructions. And less than 3 or 4 days, the cat's like going like, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So it went really well. I was really, really impressed with everything that happened and how it happened. So that's good. And it's nice to know that you guys now you're located where exactly here in the Raleigh area?
Yeah, so our shelter's address is 80 Garvey Drive. And then our clinic is located just across the parking lot in
Okay. And that is right off of Durant, correct?
Yes, yep. So Garvey Drive is just off of Durant between Falls of News and Capitol Boulevard.
Okay. So it makes it really convenient, easy to get to. It's really accessible. You've got all the parking, everything we need to get in, get out, take care of you and our cats as well. So that's good. What other kind of tips and tricks can you think of that can help us out as cat lovers?
Great question. So whenever you're bringing a new animal into your home, especially a cat, we kind of want to leave it in a small room for a couple days. Go in there, interact with it as much as you possibly can, build that trust, have fun with it, play with them. But especially, leaving them in like a bathroom for a couple days is a great way to introduce them to your house. Otherwise, it's kind of like getting dropped in the middle of New York City without a map. You don't really know what's going on, and you're just going to kind of hide in the first restaurant you find for a couple hours. So we always recommend that people keep their cats in a small room like that. And if you have other animals in your house, we like to recommend what we call scent swapping. So that's taking maybe your dog or cat's favorite blanket and switching it with a blanket that you have in that bathroom so they can get to know each other's scent before they're physically introduced to each other. It helps the process a lot.
Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, I do notice that when my daughter comes with her cats and visits, that it takes a second to get used to coming back to the house, acclimating to that for sure. And that's a good idea. I didn't think about having them stay in this one room only for a second and get used to the place. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing, I don't have that problem, but if you had pets yourself and somebody brought their pet, just don't throw them in there and think they're going to be okay.
Yeah, you never know. So doing that scent swapping helps them get more comfortable, especially if one of the animals is a little fractious or more timid or scared.
Right. If a person comes to visit you at your house and you got cats and they would love to pet your cat, is there a technique that you can help folks that both the cat and this person can have a good experience?
Sure. Start slow and let the cat take the lead. So put your hand out, let them sniff you. Usually if the cat wants pets, it'll just butt its head into you and start petting on its own. If it starts to back away, maybe try again a little later. If it starts thumping its tail or its ears, we call them airplane ears, where their ears go straight back.
Yes.
Definitely give that cat some space. That's a very anxious or maybe getting upset cat. You want to give them plenty of space and time to relax and maybe try again later. Okay. But just let the cat take the lead would be my advice.
All right. Yeah, I've seen some people that come to visit and they want to zoom right in and grab this cat. And it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Chill out. This cat's got to get to know you too.
Definitely.
Excellent. And then now food. And now these are some myths I've heard that I thought were true, but they're not. I'm hearing that we just don't give cats people food or milk like we would normally think from years past. Is that somewhat true?
Correct. So we don't want to give cats people food or any milk other than feline milk. If you have kittens, there is stuff called kitten milk replacement. That stuff is totally fine to use. But especially for your adult cats, we don't want to be giving them milk or people food, just like we wouldn't want to be eating, what we give our cats and cat food. It's not healthy and nutritious for us. It's not great for us to be eating. So we want to make sure that we're giving our cats cat food, save the people food for us.
Yeah, because I can remember as a kid growing up, I've noticed that people would give people food to cats that were outside. And then I noticed they were eating it, but I didn't know how they were reacting. But I started hearing that it's not a good idea. And there was reasons for that. So we made sure that we're on a specific. Oh, that's another one. Should you just give them any random food or should you stay with one product that they like? Or how does this work?
Great question. With cats will let you know when they want a different type of food. So if they stop eating or start eating a little less, maybe try a different wet food or a different dry food. See if they start liking that a little bit more. If they continue to not be eating, there might be something going on with them. So that'd be a time to go see your vet. Especially if it's a sudden change in their diet. You definitely want to go see your vet then. But constantly changing it and stuff like that isn't always great for the animal. So if they can have pretty much one consistent type of food, that's definitely the way to start.
Okay. All right. I thought that's what I was hearing. I did notice with our dog that in past, if I changed the food in any way, shape, or form, it kind of threw the dog off a little bit. And I started hearing
a sudden change can really upset their stomachs and make them a little sick. So
so there is truth to that. That's good. I'm glad you confirmed that. That's what I heard. And what about watering? Is there anything we should be thinking about as far as water? What kind of water? I know it's all different. We've got the Zen waters and we've got tap water. Should we give them lots of water or is there any rules?
Yeah. So pretty much just leaving water out, just like you would for a dog. Your cat will drink when it's thirsty. Just keep an eye on it, keep the bowl full. A lot of cats also like these little water fountains. They like the sound and the moving water. So if you're able to get one of those, if your cat does struggle to drink, that might help them. Just getting the water moving a little bit can make a big difference for some of them.
Okay. And so it's like a fountain, you said?
Yeah, you can find them at pet stores. They're just little, they look like little water fountains, and the water just, keeps moving. We have one for one of our office cats here, and he loves it. It's pretty much the only place he'll drink.
Is it because of the motion and the sound, you think, or what is it?
It's more so, I think, that internal survival instinct of don't drink still water.
Oh.
So as it gets moving, it reminds them like, oh, this is good to go, even though it's still just regular water.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Listen, what other kind of little tips and tricks that you give folks that you think we should be hearing out here that we could help out here in our community?
A big one is if you find kittens, just leave them be. Everyone wants to run. Yep. Everyone wants to run and help the cats. If a mom who has just given birth, she might be out hunting. She might be just afraid of you and fractious and scared of you. But the kitten's best chance of survival is definitely with the mother. So unless you know that mom is gone for sure, definitely try to keep the kittens with their mother. And then once they get old enough to be spayed and neutered, then try to trap them to get them spayed or neutered. And try to get the mother as well if possible.
Okay, good idea. And then lastly, what are the best ways to get a hold of you one more time so we can have that for everybody?
Yeah, so my email is Jamieh, Jamieh, at safehaven4cats.org. And the word for is spelled out as well, FOR.
Okay. And if we just wanted to call the office or send an email to the office, how's the best way to do that one?
If you wanted to email Safe Haven in general, that'd be info@safehavencats.org. And if you want to get in touch specifically with me by phone, that is 911.
All right, great. Anything else real quick?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to all the amazing donors and volunteers who attended our Tuxedo Cat Ball dinner last Friday. We hold it every year in April. We raised over $100 this year, so we're super proud of that. And we have another big fundraising event coming up in June. It's going to be our first ever golf tournament. It'll be held at the Northridge Country Club on June 3rd. And if you're interested in that, you can buy tickets on our website, which again is safe.
Excellent. Yeah, I think I know a couple of golfers. We're going to have to get together and head on over and try that out.
Please do.
It sounds like a great time. And I am so impressed with what you guys are doing out there. Making a big difference in our community, not only just for our pets in our house, but also outside in our community as well. Trying to keep the populations down, keep everything safe, and try to keep our animals that we interact with as safe as possible for them and as well as ourselves. So I really, really appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you again for having me on today.
You bet. All right. If anybody else that has a business or something that they'd love to share about this community, we're not talking just Raleigh, we're talking about the whole Tri-County area. I want to try to share as much as I can with everybody and help everybody connect and learn things about our community we didn't even know were around or existed. So thanks again for tuning in.